Hey guys, how's it going? We're on the Selkirk sub here, just getting ready to start what we call the survey process in RTS. Now, before we do this, I'm going to show you a few things here. This is courtesy of the Run8 Depot website. Um, this is usually a really good. What's happening is he's probably in the same process that I am right now, or anybody who gets used to a new route. Eventually, he starts, he does a great job on all the tracks. You can see he's still working on different areas, etc. But eventually, he gets track lengths in here. That's something that you can wait for and you might be able to use to your advantage. Um, what we're looking for in the survey process is finding a track that is suitable to bring a train from out of the territory. Now, up here at the top by CP 175, coming in eastbound, that's a good location, and it's worked. I've already tested. It should work fine. There's plenty of room, so it's a good location. It works fine. Plenty of room to bring trains in coming eastbound. Further down, coming from the Boston line, I guess it's this segment right here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if it's there or what, but one of those, I think it is this section right here, is long enough for a train. There's some issues. Not issues with the route, it's just issues as far as how the blocks are determined, or not the blocks, I guess the track nodes they call them are determined. And they either can help RTS or they either work for RTS or they don't. Things that don't work for RTS is definitely when you're trying to spawn a train over the switches. That will give you problems. And I got a canker sore under my tongue, so if I sound like I have a lisp or anything like that, I mean, that's no big deal, but I'm talking kind of funny. I noticed just a sore in my tongue. But anyways, just to clarify that, and I'm going to do a lot of tutorials tonight, so I'm going to be sounding funny throughout all of them. Anyways, so what we want to do is I'm looking at spawning a train on the main as opposed to this south siding. I think it's probably better than to have a train setting up here in this block, give them more of a run. So I'm going to have them spawn on the main, and we'll keep the siding cleared for, I mean, just for the sake. I got a funny feeling that this line will work good. So what do you want to do on the survey is you want to go and start. This is the approach block. You see it's yellow right now. If I turn this green and I've got it all routed through there, it turns into approach medium. I think it turns into limited, a limited approach at the other end. But anyways, whatever. It's an approach medium here, so which is fine. I thought it should be an approach limited, but whatever. So what you want to do, well, Shift F1 now, Control F1. So I use a standard freight cars for doing these, and I'm going to go over the actual generating of the actual survey train here for now, and then I'll use another video to analyze it. So what you want to do is you want to take 52 8 empty, run 52-foot well, 8 empty. They're the longest cars, and the reason why you want to use the longest cars is so that the data that you're using, it fits in the smallest block nodes that are available. I think there's some 40-meter sections. There might be even smaller ones, I forget, but no, 30, maybe less. But you want to have the biggest car so that you can cover as much ground as possible, which means less data to enter. So what I'm doing is I am trying to do 100 cars. I think I have enough room. If the program crashes, then I'll have to try it again, but we'll try 100 cars. That's giving us, where is the length? 7,106 feet. I'm going to place this on the track. Hopefully it didn't crash. Nope. Okay, good. So before I click on it, I'm just going to take a look and see how far that gives me, which is really good. Holy smoke. So I can go a little bit further actually, and you know I might as well. I could probably go another. I'll try going another 10 feet. So that gives you a good 8,000 foot approach train from that direction. The Boston area might be a little bit more difficult, but let me try. I'll delete that. And this is where that length comes into play. If the maps are done, and this is probably the same approach you would use for surveying that. If the maps are done, then you can probably end up getting uh, the actual lengths, and then you'll know how much room you actually really have before you run into problems. You also don't want to push your waybills too far. We'll get into that later on when we're dealing with waybills, because if you push it too far and make it too big, it's going to go off the end of the track and it's going to cause you errors. So I place that on the track. So your target here is you're looking for about a 6,000, 7,000 foot train is your target. Okay. So I clicked on that. I think we're good here. Now notice that switch there for the industry. You can't have it go across the switch. So again, for this video, yeah, that's pretty good. And what'll end up happening is we could probably get the rest of the length to the end of the line there, assuming. I'll just put 5 more. What do we think? 5 more? Just so that we have it all. I'll go 5 more. So you want to go back. And this, I'll just do this video on actually placing the survey train, knowing what to place, and then seeing if it's okay. Delete that. And you notice it saves the survey data, which is good. You want that. So, and also in the first block, it puts you back a few feet so that you're not overcrowding the block. So you'll be able to see the signal no problem. Let's do 5 more. This will be the last one. I'm not going to play around with this anymore. Place train on track. Okay. You have to be on the ground when you place it. Alright, so I've clicked it. Clicked it means that you're now assigned that is your piece of equipment or your consist. Yeah, that's plenty. I'm not worried about going right up to the end. So I forget what the total length was. I guess I should have looked here. I'll just do a Control F1 real quick. Yeah, you're at 8,172 feet. So now what you want to do, that you have laid that train down, you want to go ahead, click it, F1, and you want to go to spawn, and you're saving the train. So RTS survey, I'll call it NB for northbound Maine. I'll just northbound Maine, sounds good. Well, remember that that's a northbound. I don't know if it's technically westbound or northbound, but it's coming from New York City, so I'll say northbound Maine, and we'll save it. All right, so it's there now. Survey northbound Maine is in. Did I save it as a train? Oh, okay, there's East Maine. Okay, I was wondering what the extra board. Oh, East Maine and West Maine 1. Okay, I saved it as a. All right, let's try that again. You want to keep it as saved under a train, not an extra board. So save that. So you notice I have a West Maine 1 and an East Maine already done in there, and we'll get into those in a minute. How are we on time here? So northbound Maine 1, I'll go ahead and delete it. And we can get out of the simulator for a second. So this is what you're looking for. Recent places on your Explorer. Go to your routes, and that's where all the RTS data lies as well. It's always in the routes directory. You want to go to your Selkirk terminal if you're using this particular route. You want to go to trains, and don't worry about the info files. So we're doing survey northbound Maine, created on April 18th, the XML file. Right mouse click, edit, and you can go ahead and minimize that. We want to see if there's an issue with the track. In order to do that, this is where the problem is going to lie. See this one right here, and I know this from experience. INT greater than sign 1, I believe, is the problem. So what I want to do is control F to control find. Greater than sign, I believe it's 1. And then I'll close the parenthesis. Doesn't find a next. Doesn't find that. Let me just try -1. I think it's 1 is the issue. -1. It can't find it there. Let's go down. Okay, this should work fine. You'll have to eventually test it, but it should be fine. Let me give you an example of one that is going to cause issues, and it was the one that I was doing westbound Main 1. So I go to edit it, and once again, I'm going greater than sign 1, less than sign. Okay. Is it -1? Maybe it is -1. I thought it was this one that was causing the problem. But anyways. Okay, this one's fine. Let's get which one did I have the problem with then? Okay. Survey. Oh, maybe that's it. That's because I'm in the west. Okay. East Main. It's the East Main that has the problem. Edit that one. So we'll find it here, hopefully. Longer video than I expected, but you know. There it is right there, actually. Okay. Here's the issue. This particular block, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as they say in the old song. Well, what happens here, RTS when it writes the files, actually writes as a 0. So what we end up having to do, and I'll get to this when we apply the data, but right now, what we just did, that initial survey, from my analysis, is going to work fine, and we can use that data. So that basically concludes this video, and I know that probably doesn't make too much sense right now, but what you're doing is you're spawning a train in the area that is eventually going to be a template for RTS generated trains with proper engines, proper cars, tags, weights, the whole kaboom, kabang. And what you're trying to do is get a proper survey. Some tracks work better than others. Others have issues just because of the way our Run8 sets it up. And definitely there's issues when you put it over a switch. So you have to have a nice, right there we got at least 8,000 feet. So you got plenty of room to generate traffic coming in from New York City. Boston might be a little bit shorter, but we'll work on that. And anyways, that's the end of this video. Conclude that for now. More tutorials to follow shortly, so stay tuned. Talk to you later.